Hi everybody, it's Diana with StampingWithDi.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a twist. And I have a fun retro card to share with you today. I'm getting away from Halloween and I'm even getting away from Christmas just for a change. Plus, I wanted to ink up a brand new set that I hadn't even played with. In fact, I had just got it. So it's one of the bundles, so it has a punch. So I even had to punch the punch several times, like I have taught you, to get that oil out of it. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So welcome to my channel. I come to you Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays, and a quick little video on Saturday. And so today is my Mimeograph Monday with a twist. So basically what that means is I'm going to case a project out of one of the current catalogs. Sometimes I'll even do, like, maybe we have like an online exclusives flyer, but I'm getting my idea from Stampin' Up, from one of their publications. So I make a card how I think it was, and then I do a twist on it. So I will be doing two projects today. And this is a really cute set, and I love a stamp set that has a punch or a die. I love when there's a bundle, so that makes the stamp set even more fun and just easy to use. So that's what we're going to do today. So if you haven't been here before, again, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel, because then YouTube will let you know that when I upload or go live or any of that good stuff. I will be watching live off to the side, so if you have any questions while the video premieres, please ask them over there in the chat, and then I can answer them. If you're watching the replay, then just put them below. YouTube will let me know that you've made a comment, and then I can reach out to you if you have any questions or just to say hi. Alright, so I'm going to stop blabbing, close your eyes for just a minute, and then I'm going to just get my camera adjusted. That looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do today, this uses the Curved Occasions bundle. And this is in the mini catalog. So this mini catalog started in September, and it will go to the end of December. And this is the card I'm going to do right here. Now, I get the recipe off my blog, and you can get the recipe too. I'm like looking all over for the recipe because I cut it out, and now I can't. Oh, here it is, right here. So here is the recipe. So if you want these yourself, you can go to my blog. It's over here, and if you click on the top of the page, it'll say current catalogs. If you click on that, it'll open up another page, and then you can get the recipes for this catalog as well as the main catalog. So it's just the current catalogs. You won't find retired catalogs on there, because I take those off once the catalog's gone. So this is the card I'm going to do. So the recipes are great. I did find some things on here I changed because it didn't look right. So I do sometimes take that creative, what do you call it? I don't know what it's called, but it's called something. Because when I'm looking at this card here, it looks dark, right? But it's telling me the paper was Pool Party, which I can see. This is Pool Party. It was also Petal Pink and Basic White. Well, this is Basic White, and I think they were saying that this is Petal Pink. Now, I'm sure this is Petal Pink, but then it mentioned Calypso Coral in the ink pad. So I think they mixed those up. So I changed, and I did Calypso Coral for my cardstock, and I did Petal Pink for my color. So I think they just switched those up. They also mentioned blender pen coloring, but then they didn't mention the blender pens in here. They said water painters, and I don't like to use the water painters on basic white paper, so I pulled out the blender pen. So there's just a few things that I did a little bit different, so maybe that will help you. All right, so let's see here. So I want, make sure I'm doing the right card here. All right, so here's the pieces I need, as well as my ink. All right, so this is all the stuff I need for the card. Now, of course, I would decorate the envelope. I say that, and half the time I don't. So I'm so bad, but please decorate your envelope. All right, so see what I mean? So this is Calypso Coral, so it looks more like the card sample, so that's what I chose. So I'm going to stamp my little roller skates on here, so it has some time to dry before I start to color. So I'm using the Memento, and we're just going to randomly stamp the cute little roller skate on the basic white. I watched recently, I can't remember what the movie was called, but it was kind of cute. And it was the girl that was in Juno, and it was a roller skating, kind of a roller skating, well, they were fighting, but it was more about the girl, but it was kind of cute. It was an old one. But it made me go, oh, I remember roller skating as a kid. We used to go to Grand Bend, but I don't remember if I ever actually roller skated at Grand Bend or if I just watched the roller skaters. I know we swam at Grand Bend, but in my mind, I think I just remember watching the roller skaters. I don't think I ever roller skated there, but I roller skated, you know, in the hockey arenas and stuff like that growing up. All right, so I'm going to let this dry a little bit before we color it. So while that's drying, I'm going to come over here, and I have a piece of Pool Party. Now this is the curved label punch, and we want to make like a weird shape with this. So I'm going to come up and punch out. So this is, let me give you the right dimensions, because you have to make sure you cut it small enough so that you can fit it in the punch like this. So I believe it is 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. So really the 2 1/4 is what you really want to stick with. The length doesn't matter so much. So 2 1/4, because then you can get it up into here. All right, so we're going to go and we're going to punch. So that gives me that angle. But then I want this angle up here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the punch in here. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I need to go this way. So I'm going to go up into here. So I'm putting that punch in there. And I'm just kind of looking at it so it's kind of even, my little angle thing. And then I have about the same space on each side. And I'm going to punch that out. So now it gives me this really fun shape. All right, then we can stamp our greeting on there. All right, so I want these here. So anyway, so that's what this card reminded me of. So I don't know if you roller skated. I think I would break a hip if I tried now, but I remember having fun. And the music and all that. All right, I think a lot of the younger generations are missing so much with all the technology, which is so good for everybody, but at the same time, they're just missing that, the entertainment where you got out of the house and you were having fun and you were exercising, but you didn't realize you were exercising, right? Because you were having fun. All right, so I love the fonts on this stamp. It just looks like a typewriter kind of. So we have Happy Dance, and then You're Great. So I'm standing up so I can see above. All right, You're Great. So I'll set that aside. And this was Peacock, Pretty Peacock on Pool Party. So it looks really good on there. All right. So now we're going to bring our skates over, and this is when we are going to use the blender pen. Now I don't use the blender pen tons because I really like using the Stampin' blends. So there's a difference between a blender pen. It comes 3 to a pack. It's just basically an empty, it's like it paints, so there's a liquid in here, and it just allows you to move ink from the ink pad over to your cardstock. And a Stampin' blend is like this. So blender pen, Stampin' blend, blender pen, Stampin' blend. All right, so let's pull this over. Now they also didn't mention gray granite, but I could kind of see some gray on the wheels and stuff, so I again just kind of went, okay, they forgot to mention that. All right, so this is crushed curry, and I'm going to take my blender pen and we're just going to wiggle it in here, pick up that color, and I'm just going to paint it on my skate. So a few of you asked about my root canal, and I said it was a fiasco. It wasn't a fiasco once I got there, but going to it, yes. Because I was going to have those done in my regular dentist office, and then when I went to get it all scheduled and everything, and pay, they were like, oh, well, the endodontist that comes to the office is allergic to nitrous, so I couldn't use nitrous. Okay, so that's the crushed curry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? And they're like, no, he likes to use an oral, like sedative, you know. And I'm like, okay. So this was like Thursday, I think. So Friday, I call like at 5, and I'm like, I'm still waiting to hear from the pharmacy with that medicine, because my appointment was on the Tuesday. And they're like, oh, get with the guy. I'm like, okay. So all weekend I'm waiting. So this is Petal Pink. So all weekend I'm waiting to hear from, you know, my pharmacy that medicine's there, because I have to take it before I get to my appointment, which means I had to have somebody drive me because they were saying it's a narcotic or something, so I can't drive. So my neighbor was going to take me if Jeff wasn't home from hunting. So come Sunday, I still hadn't heard. So Monday I called. So this was crushed curry and Petal Pink. Now remember I said, even though they hadn't mentioned, I could still see some gray. So I'm going to choose gray granite to do my wheels and that whatever that is that holding the wheels on. So anyway, so Monday I call the office again, and I'm like, I still haven't heard from, you know, I haven't heard from the pharmacy. So they're like, okay, we'll get it done today. Nope. So Tuesday morning I call the office, and they're like, we've been trying to reach the doctor, we'll get it sent in. And I was like, my appointment, you moved my appointment up to 8 o'clock. I says, the pharmacy is not open till 9. And by then, I did not have any confidence whatsoever in this endodontist. I don't know if that was not good of me or what, but I was just like, you know what? I just didn't have confidence. So I said, they go, well, we can change your appointment to 2:15, and by then, you know, we'll get your prescription in there. And I thought, well, I don't know if he would or not, just because of the history of it all. So I said, well, I said, put me down for the 2:15. I says, but I'm going to call the endodontist that I went to for my other root canal and see when they could get me in. And I was having pain, so that was the whole thing too, right? I was like, oh, do I put it off? So anyway, so I call the other endodontist, the one that does the nitrous, and they're like, oh, we can get you in today at 3. And I was like, I will take it. So I called my dentist back, and I was like, cancel the appointment, give me my money back. And then I went to the other place, and all was well. All right, so there is the cute little skate. So that's crushed curry, Petal Pink, and then the gray granite. All right, so it was kind of like story time, right, while I'm coloring. You either love story time or you hate it. All right. So anyways, my root canals are all done. And I could not have done it without the nitrous, because oh my gosh. It was just all that. My mouth, I thought my jaw was going to break. All right. So let's put this on the card. I'm looking for my adhesive right here in front of me. So this is just going to go right on the card. I didn't put anything on the inside of this. So this is going to go right on the Calypso Coral. And then we have this really pretty iridescent, what is this called? White iridescent ribbon. So look how pretty that shines. And it's perfect with these retro skates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some dimensionals. And I'm just going to rip those off there, because I just want a few of them to hold the ribbon on the card. So now I just have to wait a couple weeks and they'll put my permanent bridge on. They just want these teeth and my jaw to kind of have some time to recuperate. Alright, so we're going to put the ribbon on there as it sticks to my finger. And that's going to fold over there. And I'm going to put a couple here as well, or at least one. And that's just going to hold that down. Now this is too long, so I'm just going to trim. But look how pretty that is. We have so much stuff right now that has iridescent. Alright, then I'm going to take my cute little happy dance. Congratulations, you're great. And that's simply going to get dimensionaled over top of there. And I've heard from several of you that were going through the same thing, root canals and stuff, at the same time as me. So I was just like, how can I be so old and have to have 3 root canals in the last couple months? But alright, so this just goes right on here. Then there's some bling on here too. So the bling that was used is the Glossy Dots Assorted. So this was fun. I was gonna, when I made my twist, I was going to change the stamp, but I ended up doing the roller skate because it's just too cute, and I totally wanted to color it my way. So you know what that means, right? You know what that means. All right, so then I'm just going to put these here and there and around on the card. But look how cute. So happy dance. Congratulations. You're great. All right, so this is the catalog version. All right, so let me put these. I didn't use any bling. Can you imagine? I didn't use any bling on my catalog or my twist. All right, I'm just going to kind of clean up this a little bit. My cards are falling all over the place. All right, hang on a minute. Let me clean that up. I also changed some of my ink. Now I'm just leaving this here because I am stamping off like I did before, you know, like out of the borders. Alright, I don't need the ink pads because I'm going to use the blends. I'm also changing my ink and I'm going to use Melon Mambo. I'm still going to use the Memento. Alright, so let me bring this over. I also, so these are the cards, the cardstock I chose for this one. So I still like the Pool Party because it's a very retro blue. I love it, I love it, I love it. I love, love, love it. So we're using Pool Party, and I'm also using some of the lime. I believe that's a lime. I'm like so bad with my lime and parakeet, but I'm pretty sure that's the lime. And then, remember I did some really fun paper with the foil? So I'm going to use some of my fun foil paper that I did the alcohol on. So I'm going to use some of that as well. Alright, so let's get this on the inside, just so I can get it in the card. All right, so I just have a little strip, and I'm just going to stick it on here. Now you have to kind of be careful that, because some of the ink, depending on how thick you put that on when you were doing that foil technique, sometimes it will come off on your fingers. So just before you use it, just kind of wipe it on, like wipe a rag over it, and it will just take off any excess ink that hasn't really dried on there, so you don't get your cardstock dirty. All right, oop, that wasn't good. All right, so on the inside, I'm gonna put this really cute mirror ball, and this kind of reminded me of the mirror ball. All right, so we're gonna put the mirror ball up here like this, and I'm gonna stamp it up here so that this goes off of it, so the mirror is like hanging. All right, and then let's take our Melon Mambo, and we're gonna go make today yours. Okay, so we'll just set that aside, and then we'll bring this over. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp a bunch of roller skates, but we're going to color them way cooler with the blends. All right, so again, I'm just randomly stamping shoes, well, they're not shoes, but roller skates around. And it's visually appealing if you have them go off the page. If you just have them all in the page with the white border around, it's not as nice looking. So make sure you stamp them off the page. Now if you were going to do a whole bunch of these cards, because this is like what it said. Oops, I didn't do that one too good, did I? Whoa. Ooh. Can I line this up? Uh-oh, I didn't. I wiggled. All right. Let's see. I'm going to restamp that. So I restamped that, because that would just bother me. If it was where it was going to be covered up, I would have left it, but it's not going to be covered up. All right, so I'm going to let this dry a little bit before I color it. So while that's drying, I'm going to do my greeting. So my greeting is also going to be Melon Mambo. And I want it to be happy birthday, because we're going to have this be a happy birthday card. They're at the roller rink for the party. So we have happy birthday. And this time, I'm just going to use the punch the way it was intended. Not that it wasn't intended to do it the other way, but this is kind of, you know, why the stamp set has so many of the angled greetings. Because look how cool that is. So now you just punch that out, and we have our cute little angled, curved birthday. All right, so let's bring our shoes over. All right, so let's get our colors. And I want it to make this super, super fun card. Very retro, very fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my light pool party, and I'm going to go all the way around the skates. So they're not necessarily a shadow like I usually like to do. They're more like a highlight. And pool party is just one of those. So you'll have to, I'll share this on my blog later with a, you know, a close-up or whatever, and hopefully you'll be able to see the colors better. But so what this is going to do, it's going to make it look like the skate is glowing. It's got like this blue glow around it. So I'm just tracing around. So it has that pool party all the way around it. Now, if you didn't want that, you could just do one side and then it would just be a shadow. But I love the look of it with it all the way around. And pool party is just a great light color for doing this. Plus it went with the cardstock. So that was just a win-win in my book. All right. And I want to let everybody know, thank you. All of the Taco Fiesta classes have now been spoken for because I had a few left over and now they're all gone. So thank you so much. I do have one horse open sleigh, the ones with the box and the note cards that made the 20 cards. I still have one of those available. So if you did miss out on that one, let me know. Okay, so now we're going to make our skates all super cute and fun. And I'm going to use light melon mambo because that's kind of a retro-y, you know, color. It's also the color that I used for the stamping. So we're going to go melon mambo. I'm going to make the stopper melon mambo as well. And make these skates super cute and fun. Okay. Kind of make them not like psychedelic, but just make them be kind of, I just keep saying retro because that's what makes me think of it. Plus that hieroglyphic paper or whatever, that hologram paper looks so cute with this. I'm like, I have got to use that because I had so much fun making that paper. All right, so there's the light melon mambo. But what I want to do is I'm going to take my light gray granite before I do the skate anymore. So I'm going to take my light gray granite, and I want my skate to be white, but I don't want to not color it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of light gray granite. I'm also going to do, my wheels a different color. So I'm going to do the light gray granite on this metal or whatever that would be that's holding the wheels on. And I'm just going to put a little bit around the skate just so that it looks white, but there's just a little bit of a shadow on it. But I'm going to do the wheels with smoky slate, so they're a little bit darker. And then you might, you know, do yours a different color. Maybe you had some really extra cool skates growing up. I don't think we ever owned any. My mind isn't as... I'll have to ask my sister. She's younger, but her memory is like so good compared to mine. I don't think we actually owned roller skates. I think we just rented them whenever we went to the rink. I do remember we did own ice skates, but not the whatchamacallit, not the roller skates. All right, so I'm going to take the light smoky and we'll do the wheels with the light smoky, just so they're a little different color than whatever that is that is holding the metal right there. So already, don't these look cute? Even with just that little bit of melon mambo, you could be like I'm good to go. All I needed was that little bit of pink there. But we're going to go a little further. All right. So then I'm going to take my dark smoky and just going to put a little dark right there. All right. Good, good, good. All right. Then. All right. So I'm going to take my dark Melon Mambo, and we're just going to put a little dark coming up from the skate, just so it's a little dark, plus a little bit on that rubber stopper, and on the wheel hole. And I'm not worrying about blending these out because it's just a really fun card. So when things are, I don't want to call this one cartoony like I do when I do like the Hey Chalk or some of the other ones, because I don't consider this a cartoon, but it's really fun, so I don't worry so much about blending out that dark line like I would do maybe on a card that was a little more elegant. All right, so now I'm going to go lemon lime twist, because I also had that over here. All right, so we're going to go light lemon lime, and look how cute that is with that Melon Mambo. Oh my gosh. Don't you wish you had a pair of skates like this? And don't you wish if you did have skates like this, you could actually skate and not break a hip? All right. So that was light lemon lime. And then we'll do the same thing as we did with the Melon Mambo. We'll take the dark and just add a little dark, just coming out from the skate there. And then I wanted my skate, like the actual boot of the skate, to have some color. I didn't want to just leave that white, so I'm going to use some of the tones, and some of these tones I don't use very often. So this is 8 and 7. So 8, as the number gets higher, it gets lighter. So we're going to use 8 first, and I'm basically just going to color the bottom where that skate boot is attached to this heel thing. And I'm sure these things all have official names, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, so this is, again, was number 800 in the tones. All right, and then I'm going to do 700. So I'm just going to come from here, so it's a little bit darker, and then just add a little bit. So from there, and then a little bit. So, I don't know if I mentioned, if you're doing a whole bunch of these, do a whole sheet. Just stamp a whole sheet, you know, and put your boots, you know, your roller skates fairly close together, especially if you're doing a whole sheet. When you cut the paper first, then you can see where you need to be. But if you're doing like a whole sheet of 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, you're going to want to bring them closer together, because when you cut them, you're going to more apt to have like a big white space. This one isn't big, but if these skates were in here, it would be. So when you do that, you want to, because that was one thing they mentioned on here when they talk about techniques. It said blender pen coloring, create your own DSP, which is kind of what we're doing, and then watercolor wash. All right, so now we have our pool party, and we have this. Now before we put it together, I want a little bit more glitz and glam on my card. So I'm going to take my splatter guard. And you can see, right? Okay. And I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and make sure there's lots of juice on it. And I'm just going to tap it on the lid. And what that does is it splatters out Wink of Stella. Now, when you do this, just like when I flick with the blender pen, you really can't control where that's going to go. So, and then I'm going to set it aside, but you can already see how that is sparkly and shiny. All right. I also want to do it to the inside, but I don't want it to get on this right here because it's not going to dry on there. So I'm just going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to cover that. And we're going to do the same thing. So now this has got sparkle on the inside as well. All right. Then this is a mess, right? Because not only was it splattering all over my cardstock and probably my desk, it was also getting all over the pen. So just make sure you wipe the pen off, or the next time you grab it, you're going to have Wink of Stella all over your hands. All right. So now we want to make sure we give that enough time to dry, but you can see how cool that looks. And you can see how when I added that color, you have to go back and watch that video. I'll have to remember to put the link, how I got all those colors and stuff. All right. And then here's the cute little shoes as well. So I'm just going to lay this down. And that way, if there's any that haven't soaked in, it will stick and dry on there. But I think it doesn't take long to dry because it soaks in to the cardstock. All right, so let's put our card together. So we have our pool party. We have our inside. But I love that sparkle because then it makes it look like, you know, that mirror ball is, you know, doing all the lights against the ceiling and all that good stuff. All right. I'm also going to put it on here, but I'm going to glue this first to the card. So this is going to go on the card, and then I'm going to put, so just make sure your hands aren't dirty. I'm going to put this on with dimensional, so it will sit away from this a little bit so that you'll be able to see it a little bit more than if I just glue it direct. You'll be able to kind of see it twinkling underneath this cardstock. But I thought this was perfect to use this paper, and I'll show you the other one I did, because I did one with the Melon Mambo one that I did, so they look, so you can just see the difference. All right, so here is this, and then I'm going to take my happy birthday with the baby dimensionals, and I didn't put any bling, I didn't put any ribbon, because there's a lot of color going on. We have all of this sparkle from the background there, and I did all that splattering with the Wink of Stella, so in my mind that there is almost like bling, right? It's like you put a bling on there, and I just didn't want to add a ribbon just to add a ribbon. All right, so here is that one. So look at how cool this is with that paper in the background. So let me show you this other one. So this one used the red, well, the Melon Mambo. So they are basically the same card. It's just that I used that Melon Mambo paper that I did the alcohol stuff to instead. But you can see, you know, see how fun they are. All right, so here is the catalog version, and then I'll leave the two twists up there. It's basically the same card, but I love how that Wink of Stella just sparkles on there. I just love that. All right, so let me say, see you later, alligator. So what do you think? Oh, I love how it turned out. I'm so glad I got that set. It's got some cute little pieces with it. Because I almost was going to do the, I have to do the opposite. Here we are. The car. I almost changed and did the car for my twist. And I thought, know what? Like I said, I wanted to have more fun coloring the roller skates, so I did the roller skates. So I'm going to have to do a couple other cards with this set and use the other pieces because it's super cute. So if this is one, this is kind of a sleeper set. Like I don't, I think it's like I said, I just got it. So that mini catalog has been out since September, so I was able to order since August, and I just now got it. So yeah. Anyways, all right. So I'm gonna see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, episode 196. That will be 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. Let me know what you think about these cards. If there's ever anything you want me to show for my Mimeograph Monday with a Twist, and I can do it. I can't do all requests. I don't own everything, even though it seems like I do. But let me know, okay? All right, so I'm going to say see you later, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, have a great night. Bye for now.